this one is quite interesting because once again, AlphaTauri is undergoing another name change. They'll be known as the Visa Cash App RB Formula One team. Try saying that when you're drunk. This begins a new multi-year partnership where Visa will become the first global partner of both Red Bull F1 teams. The Visa logo will appear on all 4 cars from Oracle Red Bull Racing and Visa Cash App RB and their F1 Academy entries. This is the 3rd name change the team has gone through in recent years, from Toro Rosso to AlphaTauri and now Visa Cash App RB. What a downgrade. They are the only team that went through a major name change. Alfa Romeo is now known as Stake F1 team Kick Sauber. That's even worse. The graphic courtesy there of Visa Cash App RB. So, once again, Visa returns to Formula One. The first time they've been a title sponsor since 1997. And that created a whole lot of trouble from their 2 races there. Also known as Super Bowl Racing, says Alex as well. Matt, do you like the new team name, or is it harder for the team to establish an identity for themselves when they're constantly changing names? What do you think, Matthew?
Yeah, it is. Let's hope they do better than the last Visa-sponsored cars that didn't get through qualifying at Melbourne in '97, and then that was the end of them. It's just an absolute tongue twister, isn't it? I mean, one thing that came to mind a couple of weeks ago when the Stake news came out about Sauber, because it's Sauber, is Everton Football Club is sponsored by Stake. It's on the shirts, but we still call them Everton. So why can't we just call them Sauber?
I'm with you.
Visa, Red Bull, Cash App, Red Bull Racing, AlphaTauri, Rosso. I don't know what you are going to do throughout the season, Josh.
I don't know. I can't.
On your calls. I don't know what Crofty's going to do. I don't know what Alex Jakes is going to do. All the commentators around the world. What are we going to just call them? Oh, when we get a flash of, that's a in the gravel at turn 3. You know,
right. I've had a thought because I don't know. From my point of view, I can't say it because that would be a brand endorsement, a direct brand endorsement, and that goes against YouTube and Twitch guidelines. The commentators can't do it either because it goes against the BBC guidelines and it also goes against the Sky guidelines. So I think maybe Alex Jakes get away with it, but I've come up with a few alternatives.
Yeah.
So, bit like we had British American Racing called BAR, we got Visa Racing Bulls. Can we call them VRB?
VRB. It's It's Tsunoda in the VRB. He's off at turn 5.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, yeah, I think that's. I mean, we've only had 9 or 10 hours since this news was officially official, even though kind of got out a little bit last week. Yeah. Don't change your social media handles until you've got something to announce, silly people. But yeah, this is, we've been talking about this for a little while. It's been was going through the sort of back half of last season, wasn't it? Because they were going to change the name again. The clothing brand clearly has not took off in any shape or form from what they envisaged that it would do. Yeah, it's going to be a mouthful. And Zach Brown's had his say again the last couple of days about Red Bull tying up with the team and them being a lot bit more aligned again and all this kind of thing. Kind of got bored of that story a few years ago, and now it seems to be back. Adam dislikes it. I think everybody, Adam, is of the same opinion. It is weird, but I think Josh has got it spot on there with VRB, and also it's just got to be Sauber, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's got to be Sauber.
Cars.
It'll be Sauber, and it's better than Sauber, but it's still horrible. Yeah, because the Sauber is what it's Stake F1 team Kick Sauber. Minardi, yeah, not Minardi. And then I said about Tyrrell, you joked about, well, I can't wait to see if Jordan improved this year. Alonso's got to do well. VCARB. Yeah, I've seen that go around for Korean Chanhawk, VCARB. But the problem is, I don't think they're allowed to say that either because carbohydrates, it's promoting other things as well. So Adam says VRB, I'll take it. It's got to be VRB. We had BAR. You couldn't say British American Racing, so it was BAR. And I quite like VRB. Behind the mic, Matthew Owen says, can we add a presented by, oh God, what's that?
Intuit TurboTax.
TurboTax, oh my God. That's the NASCAR names. We are getting a bit ridiculous, aren't we, as well? I'm just waiting for the, it's lights out for the British Grand Prix, something like that. The really, really poor ones, like we had for NASCAR, the name changes. It's getting ridiculous. I mean, I mentioned this a few days ago as well. We recorded a podcast and I said, are we losing the identity of Formula One? Is that what we're doing? Because we don't have the names that have the heritage. And people say, oh, why do we want Andretti coming into Formula One? Andretti is more famous in motorsport than Visa or a Cash App or Kick or Stake. God,
more on identity of Formula One to come in our next story, I feel.